Okay, so is anybody else as surprised as I am that the NRA seems to be? We'll turn down the volume on the YouTube side. Life never ceases to amaze me, and it's just amazing. And I guess if you don't know what I'm talking about, I will tell you what I'm talking about. If I go to, oh, I know most of you probably don't like Breitbart.com, but it's one. This domain is currently not approved for cash parking. What the hell? Am I going crazy? I am I just going? I had to open right. I had to open Chrome because what in the world? Oh my God! Is Google blocking Breitbart.com? World, am I going totally nuts? I had to start the Hangout with Chrome because the Nazis at Google somehow screwed up my Firefox so that Hangouts wouldn't work on the my browser anymore. So I started Chrome, and you're not going to believe this. Maybe I just don't know how to spell Breitbart, but let me screen share so that people won't think I'm your entire screen. People won't think I'm totally crazy. So if I type in yeah, Breitbart, okay, now it figures it would work if I started screen sharing. Where is the report on the NRA? And what I was hoping people would do is there's a link in the Hangout that has the link to join the Hangout. And I'm looking for, did Breitbart now delete the NRA ad? Am I living, did I like somehow jump into an alternative reality when I started this thing? Well, let's look at this story. Paul Ryan, legislation banning bump stocks, something that we need to look into. Now, everybody is looking for a low hanging fruit right now that they can pretend or act or actually take action on so that they can say that they did something. And what is really strange is that on my version of Breitbart.com, on my Firefox, there's an NRA story that seems to have just disappeared. Where is it? Anyway, I was wanting to make sure that I was reading it properly, and it has just disappeared. Literally, let's Google it. Let's go back and say NRA um, bump stocks. NRA strategic ploy on bump stocks. NRA calls for review. Let's go to New York Times, not reliable. Washington Post, not reliable. NBC News, not reliable. CNBC, not reliable. Politico, not reliable. Hmm. Anyway, it appears to me, and this is very odd because did people complain and the NRA, maybe we should just go to did what's that noise? That's funny. I thought somebody had joined the hangout, but it was an ad. It was an ad on the so let me just this is such an awkward, such a mind blowing happening. First of all, I don't like the butt stocks. I don't like the arm braces. I don't like any gimmick. When I was growing up, the a rifle was a rifle, a pistol was a pistol, a shotgun was a shotgun, and a machine gun was a well-oiled machine that was designed as a machine gun. And there's something about bump stocks that, and if this is not like a new stance of mine, in the past several years, even when the bump stocks first came out, I said that they were weird, they were trollish. I felt like they were like trolling the gun manufacturing business. Yes, there are people who, if you watch any YouTube videos, you'll see that a lot of people in the gun community did do like bump stocks. They have videos on them, and I actually took a lot of crap for not liking them. Okay, but I don't think they should be banned. So what's freaking me out is how I was going. This whole hangout was preempt, or I was caused to do it because of the NRA stance. Let's just say NRA says ATF should review bump stocks. Okay, so it calls for federal. Here we go. Maybe there'll be one story. The NRA called for, my God, commercials. Called for federal review of bump stocks after Vegas shooting. So here's what's going to happen. The NRA is going to weasel itself into a position where where is the did I lose the YouTube side? Let me go find my links. YouTube page. Copy. I don't do enough hangouts anymore. Okay, now I'm back on the YouTube page. So what here's the thing. Okay, so here's the way the NRA. This is what the NRA is doing. Okay, the NRA is saying, "Oh, well, just let the ATF review it." Okay, so they know what the ATF is going to do now. They're going to the whole deep state, the whole bureaucracy is going to say, "Oh, we made a mistake. We need to ban bump stocks." And then there will be no accountability. Okay. What you want is accountability. You want this to go to Congress. You want to be able to see who votes. And see, this is the whole strategy now for politicians is to talk big, but not to have to vote. This is what politicians are looking for, and the NRA is basically backing up that stance by saying, "Oh, well, just let the ATF decide." Well, screw the ATF. The ATF has no accountability. But they Trump the the bureaucracy goes so deep. That's why they call it the deep state. That Trump basically has little control over the deep state. Okay, so when the NRA knows this, and the NRA basically is basically handing over to politicians some sacrificial lambs. Okay, the sacrificial lambs are the Hearing Protection Act, and bump stocks and whatever else. Okay. So my question is, where does it end? Where does it end? Okay. So the other point I want to make here is here's Paul Ryan, poor Paul Ryan. He doesn't even know what a bump stock. He claims he doesn't know what a bump stock is. Well, now that I understand the full breadth of what a bump stock is, we must look into this this weird thing that we had no idea existed. It's just so silly. Um, I was kind of hoping some of you would. It says I can't watch. There's a problem and something has gone wrong. Dang it. Dang it, Cam. um, can anybody else join? I was hoping some people could join and discuss this because there's so much to talk about, and it's much easier to have a discussion than talk to the computer. So I was kind of hoping people would join, but I mean, all I can do is give you my opinions on this stuff. Now, here's what's sad. Okay, the NRA has enlisted a lot of people. Now, I'm going to show you a picture, but I don't want you to get mad. Um, because I like Eric. Eric is a friend of mine. Okay, I'm going to show you this picture. Where is it? I need to go search it. I need to search. I need to search IV 8888 and NRA. Okay, then you'll know what I'm talking about. So if I go to images and I roll down here, okay, see this image right here? Can you see it? Now I have met Chad, Tim, Dave. I haven't met Goober there, but I have met Such and Eric. I have met all these people except, as a matter of fact, they have all signed the crickets, and I hope on Saturday they will sign them again. Maybe not after this hangout, but here's the thing: the NRA, this little goober right here, has enlisted these guys to help them. Now, what I'm challenging these guys to do is do the right thing, and that is uh, not to walk lockstep with the NRA because this is wrong. It's wrong to for the NRA to hand over to sacrifice legislation or things on our behalf. I will not become I will not renew my membership if the NRA is going to sacrifice legislation such as the Hearing Protection Act and and whatever devices that they deem uh, available, low hanging fruit. Okay, so my point here is that the NRA is recruiting people in the gun community. Okay, so what happens when they do that is that these people are expected to parrot. Now, I'm not saying they will or that they have or that they are going to. I'm just saying the NRA will expect it. Okay, it's a tit for tat kind of thing. So, and I love these guys. I've met all of them. I love these guys. I really do. I don't know. I don't know Goober. What's his name? Lapierre. So, eh, let's look at the. Hey, Warsaw Patriot. Y'all, some of you guys can join the hangout if you want to. I've got the link at the very top. The very top. The link. As a matter of fact, I'll flirt you with it. I'll go up here and I'll say, look, here's the link. Copy. Because I'm just talking to myself. right now. It's much more fun to talk to humans. There's nothing to back down from. You going on Seek's love stream tonight? Who is Seek's love stream? That sounds like some Swami uh, threesome or something. That's weird. I mean, oh, Zeke's live stream. No, Zeke. It's not. I don't know. I didn't. I must not have impressed Zeke um, with my. Yeah. Oh, Zeke shoots. Oh, not Zeke Stout. I'm glad you. Who's Zeke shoots? I'm glad you stopped me there. I was going to say maybe Zeke Stout wasn't impressed with my SDI course evaluation, although I gave it high marks. Maybe I just my videos weren't good enough or something. I don't know. The live stream is totally different. Oh, on his YouTube channel, AK Builder. Are you talking about? Excuse me. Um, no, the one I know, not the. That's not Zeke. I met him at the NRA show. What's his name? I thought his name was Anthony, like mine. Tony. What about the AK guy? The guy who built the 50 caliber AK. Well, I have to be invited to his live stream. They have to send me a link to it. I can't just join it. So, but I'll look it up though. Um, but I guess I'm disappointed because the NRA has done such a great. Now this just occurred to me today. Okay, it just occurred to me today that the NRA. Oh, I got a cramp in my leg. The NRA has done such a great job of coming into. It's almost like a psyop. Uh, the NRA has done such a great job of infiltrating the gun community that there may be no turning back. There may be no. There's Richard. I know this guy, Richard from the UK. Where did he go? I'm looking at pictures on. There's Hickox. I've met him. I haven't met Coleon Noir yet. I'd like to meet him. There's Eric. But it's just weird. Zeke shoots. I will look that up. I agree the election people are hiding behind the deep state so as not to have to defend their actions. They're all scum. It's weird. It's really strange. And I sent the NRA a message. Of course, they'll never hear it because you know what? The NRA has become such a huge organization that it's not grassroots anymore. Believe it or not, I'm 55 years old, and I remember when the NRA was not that big. When I was a kid, or something, you would get, the NRA was like a grassroots thing. It was like, oh, cool, the NRA, National Rifle Association. Um, but it has gotten so big that you can't just send a message and you can't. Who do you? The only thing you can do is either join or not join. That's the only thing you can do. Rest in peace, man. God bless his friend. Sorry he lost one of his best friends. Who is that? Awesome. Love Such. What happened to Such? Awesome reviewer and shooter. Yeah, I like Such. I've met Such many times. Sorry he lost one of his best friends. What happened? Yeah, the NRA is, and I'm not going to bash the NRA, but one of my favorite uh, organizations is the NRA. I'm sorry, the NRA, the Second Amendment Foundation. That's one of my favorite. If you actually go to the Second Amendment, let's just Google it right quick. We don't. I'm not going to mess up my YouTube page again. Um, Second Amendment Foundation, and I think it's called RENN versus something. It was the case in D.C. Yeah, major win for Second Amendment advocates. This is the federal court blocks D.C. from enforcing concealed carry restriction. I don't know. You may not have followed this, but this is the kind of stuff. This case right here. Look it up sometime. Wren versus the District of Columbia. It was the District of Columbia was trying to regulate concealed carry licenses only to those individuals who could demonstrate that they had a good reason. Uh, they were trying to. You had to demonstrate that you had a good reason to have a gun, basically. And so this has been going through the courts for quite some time, and finally the district are going to take it to the Supreme Court, from what I read today, because they're afraid of a long-lasting. Well, it would be a long-lasting precedent set in the Supreme Court. So they're dropping their efforts now on this. Let's see, this was a Second Amendment thing, Second Amendment Foundation case that they were looking at. So looking at, well, it's funny because I'll tell you a quick story. I was kind of ripped off. I was called. This was 5 or 6 years ago. I was called by this company who said they represented the NRA, and they said they had a special on lifetime memberships for like $350. Okay, and I paid it. Okay, well, guess what? A few minutes later, I got a notice from the NRA saying, "Oh, your membership's about to expire," and I was like, "What?" And because I'm also an NRA certified pistol and rifle instructor, I have those. I have like 5 or 6, personal protection inside the home. That I have, 4 or 5 uh, certifications, NRA instructor certifications. Okay, so if I keep that updated, my membership is updated, right? So I do. So I knew something was weird. And I called the NRA and I said, "Hey, you guys called me 3 or 4 months ago." And they said, "No, we didn't." So I got scammed. So now I just renew my membership annually each year. And I think it's coming up for renewal in December. I'll have to check. So you got to be careful when you get calls from people, especially with like lifetime member deals, because I tried to go back through my American Express, and it was too late to challenge the the charge. So it was a lesson learned, but um, the scammers are out there. But no, the reason I mention that is because I'll be reevaluating my membership this December based on what happens with. I really, honestly, I hate to say this, but we almost need like a grassroots. Um, well, yeah, I hate shoots. I did too. That's what I do now. I'm not going to do anything but pay through. Well, you see, if you go to their instructor portal, I've got, like I said, I've got my certifications as an instructor, and I did that when I was working with scouts because I could sign off on their rifle shooting merit badge when Alex was in scouts. So I became a rifle shooting or a certified, instructor through NRA just so I could do that. I wasn't planning on doing it professionally. I just went through the training, the instructor course, and the student course and the instructor course so that I could sign off on the scouts rifle shooting merit badge. And I have several videos of where I take the scouts shooting and we're getting their rifle shooting merit badge. So, but what I do is I go to the instructor portal, and that's where I renew my membership. And I was doing that annually, you see. And then when I got the call for this deal, I was like, "Hey, that's cool. Well, won't do that anymore. I'm just going to go through the website like you're saying." So, but I'm going to go. I'm going to the shoot this weekend. I wish people, I wish some of you people would join the hangout so we could talk. And um, I'm going to Eric's shoot on Saturday. It's going to be my 5th year. I'll be getting the cricket signed again, and I'm going to be asking. Now, I asked Chad today, and he said he was not happy. You need to follow Chad and Eric and those guys on Instagram because they're pretty active on Instagram. And Chad's is Chad underscore IV 8888. And I pretty much get my IV 8888 updates through Chad. I'll just put that in here. I'll just put it right here. Char. I typed char. G. That's that's Chad on Instagram. But I guess I was trying to put myself in there. I was trying to put myself in their position, and there would be great pressure. It's just like with if you go to um, a Hickox Facebook page, he's got a post about it, and basically he's saying that maybe what was it? Let's just go to Hickox Facebook. I don't want to misquote anybody. He had a post about it. What in the world? What in the world? Son of a. You see, this is what's going to piss me off. Chrome had to go. Here we go. I'll show, I'll show Google. I'll show you. I'll start my Firefox after I've started Chrome. How about that? Bugger eaters. Here's my. Here we go. Let's go to Hickox page so I don't misquote him. And he basically says, well, I suppose I'll pick up a few haters about this as well as people who think I'm supporting the NRA only because they support us. Let me go. Let me just go to the post so I can read the whole. Duty. Here we go. Even though John has not totally agreed with me this week, I've been making the comment all week how crazy it is that something most serious shooters couldn't care less about is such a point of focus being used to demonize all gun owners. I'm assuming the NRA gave this issue very serious consideration. Well, I don't. I think the NRA gave it serious consideration to see how they could maybe. Sorry, I was getting a text. I'm pretty sure the NRA has had to form a response based on the masses and not necessarily just gun owners. So, don't tell the gun haters, but this was a stroke of genius. It doesn't take a genius to see what's coming anyway, regardless of who wants to feel smart about never compromising. Many of you will not agree with me, but all of us need to make sure we continue contacting our representatives. Well, I love Hickox, okay, but there, where does it end? Where does where will it end? Let me go back here. Where will it end? Tony, do you like the CZ75? Yeah, I like CZ pistols. I have a CZ52, and it'll kick your butt. Not kick your butt. It'll when you're shooting it. It takes that 7.62 by 25, and that little thing is a little zippy round. And I don't really enjoy shooting the CZ52, but the CZ75 is a. I think all CZ products are good. I like them. Yeah, CZ is top notch premium. And the only reason is I kind of quit shooting the. It's kind of a novelty. The CZ52 is kind of a novel. I mean, I like it, but I get slide by a little fat hands if I'm not careful. I had a giveaway a couple of years ago. I gave away my P64. I was like, hey, I'll have a giveaway, and I'll I'll turn this negative to a positive. Sorry, I'm trying to answer a text from one of my customers. But anyway, I guess uh, what can you say? Um, I guess we all have to form our own opinions, or we have our own opinions. But I just feel like that you have to you have to form your principles first. Your and this is what I've taught my kids. You have to develop your own standards. You know, develop a set of standards for your life and live by them. Okay, and so they're like a filter, so that when you come up on instances like this, you run that through your filter, and you say, and you look at what comes out the other end, and you say, I don't. And I said this when this happened. I said, wow. And I was joking with Barrett, and I said, dang, let's just ban arm braces while we're at it because I don't like either one of them. And then I felt weird all of a sudden, and I said, wait a minute, that was a joke, and I backed up and I said, this doesn't jive with my principles. Letting government have a knee jerk reaction and just looking for political expediency, looking for something to do to make it seem like that they care. Uh, that's not that's not the way it should work. You know, the way it should work is that we should um, put the blame. And this is what's so frustrating about the guy killing himself. You know, that you want to be able to punish these people and make an example out of them, but you can't do that. And so, since the guy took himself out, now people are looking for something to sacrifice. And the NRA is basically sacrificing the bump stocks and anything else they could probably come up with in the next few weeks to appease people. So that doesn't jive with my principles. And I know it's not a very popular stance, but I just can't I can't live on the fence. I just can't do it. If I have to take crap, if I have to take a cut or even professionally. If people hear what I say, and people have, even some of my customers that I bill for, hear what I say and they disagree with me, and professionally, I take a cut. You know, every time somebody hears something that I believe in, I take a hit. You know, but I can't help it. I just can't. Uh, I just know that in the end, that if you give an inch, they will take a mile. They just will. And so where will it end? What does the NRA do after it gives up, you know, bump stocks, and after it gives up the Hearing Protection Act, after it gives these, what happens next? Does the NRA come back and say, okay, we gave you this, what are we going to get? This national reciprocity thing. There are many people who don't agree with that. There are many gun owners who don't agree with the concept of national reciprocity, because they fear. I'm not so sure I fear this, but I'm trying to listen to these people that I respect and I know, and they're saying, they're concerned about national reciprocity. So to me, the national reciprocity thing is a bone we're being thrown. You know, they're throwing us a bone so that they can give Democrat. You see, um, the NRA is going to try to play both sides of the fence. And to me, you have to sit on the fence to play both sides. And I don't like that. And people will say, well, at some point in your life, you have to compromise. We've, we've been compromising forever. Uh, so, anyway, um, I really thought people would join, but that's my. I don't draw the people anymore. I don't draw joiners. I don't draw people to my hangouts like I used to. I remember one night. If you look, you can look it up. It's a hangout that I had, and I call it the Stars Aligned. And I think it was Brandon, 401 came in. He was gun time now. Um, who else was it? It was Tauflater Mouse. It was gun websites. It was, anyway, I had 4 or 5 of the biggest YouTube channels join my hangout one night, and it was really a lot of fun. And what is her name? What is her name? Oh gosh, I'm gonna get myself in trouble. That joined. Anyway, I had 5 or 6 big YouTubers join, and it was fun. And I don't know. Now I'm rambling. But anyway, I'm going to hope that enough members of the NRA voice their opinion, and that, because honestly, I have a feeling that the NRA has a little network of not necessarily talking points, but their stance is issued to people, to supporters, and then those supporters echo that or voice their opinions and to support that. So I'm hoping that enough members of the NRA voice their opinion to the NRA, so that we at least get a good representation, and that, so that they don't just expect us to be fed what we're supposed to believe. That's that's what I don't like. Um, so anyway, um, it looks like uh, nobody's going to join, and it's okay. I understand. It was an unplanned hangout, but if anybody has any um, wishes to join in the future, that would be fun, and just let me know. And I will see you later. Thanks, guys.